Tuesday, June 12th, 2018, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So this morning I want to talk about the fight for sound money, the fight against fraudulent central banking fiat money. It's very frustrating, but that's what they want to do, psychologically make you give up and stick to their paper money, their fraudulent debt-based money, to keep everyone enslaved. And that's why it's more important than ever that we stick to our sound money principles, and if possible, hold some of our savings in physical gold, physical silver. And of course, the price manipulation is very frustrating, but that's why they do it. They do it to keep people away from real money. Why do you think they started the gold futures market or contract on the COMEX on the day before gold was legalized again in 1975? Well, it's to manipulate the price. But I would say that the price has been doing well over the long term. It's only those who truly believe in it. You don't even have to believe in anything. It's just a fact that the paper money is a fraud created out of thin air to keep people enslaved, because it's all based on debt. While commodity money or gold or silver or anything else that has some value to create or to extract is worthwhile having, and it's natural. So that's what I want to talk about this morning. Before that, of course, I'll quickly go over the markets. They're not doing much. They're in limbo, kind of waiting for the fraudulent reserve meeting. Fraudulent reserve. Why do I say fraudulent? Because it's not federal. They don't have any reserves, and it's not really a system. Well, it is a system, but it's a parasitical system. And unfortunately, the markets have been hijacked by the fiat money central banking cabal. Of course, before I go over the markets, I'd like to say that President Trump and President Kim met today. It's quite historic. Hopefully there will be peace. Peace is better than war. I've studied about the Korean conflict. I think it was even in high school I did a research paper about the Korean War. It was in college. And yeah, I know that that war started as a war of containment. That was the big thing after World War II, that the West had to contain the Soviet Union and communism. So Korean Peninsula was one of those proxy wars. The American against the communist Chinese, who had just come to power in 1949, started in 1950. Hostilities ended in 1953 and divided Korea. I think it was the 38th parallel, they call it. And they, North and South Korea haven't, they're still at war technically. So after almost 70 years. So maybe there's some hope here. So let's wait and see. So market-wise, we've got gold at $12.98, down 2. I've got a range here, but I don't think it's right. I don't think we got up there. This is a mistake here in the system. It says that the high was 1312, but I don't think so. The high is around 1300. The low is 1296.20. Silver 1688, down about 3. Yesterday I think the high was 1696. Today it's 1696 as well. So still hasn't been able to break through 17. The Dow's up 30. Big deal. S&P is up 3. Yeah, I mean, they seem to be, holding up the stock market for now. NASDAQ is up 5 points. The pound is unchanged, basically at 133.85. Had some weak data for the UK yesterday. weak in this industrial and manufacturing production. We had, I think, one of the largest trade deficits ever in the UK. So the UK economy is doing not well at all. And we've got high inflation in the UK, a lot higher than the official numbers. We got interest rates almost at zero. So they're really trying to kill the middle class here. They're really extracting wealth, this parasitical central banking system, really extracting wealth from the producers. They're looting the country. They've printed hundreds and hundreds of billions of pounds to save the banks. They indebted the country from 2010 to now. The national debt is more than doubled, and we've got nothing to show for it except that a few guys at the top in the city of London and the people around them are doing really well. But nothing changing for the general public. And that's why people in the UK, not only in the UK, but everywhere else in the West, the same thing is happening. They need to protect themselves. And how do you do that? Don't play their game, the fiat money game. Don't buy into the thing that you need to have everything. You need to take on debt to do it. Live within your means. Try to save. I know saving money is something that people never talk about anymore. It's all about how much I can borrow. No, try to save, and try to save in the money that the money of kings and gentlemen, gold and silver. Don't save in their phony paper fiat money scheme. That only keeps their game going. Don't let them govern your minds. Even government is like to govern someone's mind. Ment is mind. That's the way to fight them. Yeah, do things that make sense, things that are honest. We don't have honest banking. We have a group of people who think they're God, basically, and that they can create things out of thin air. And that's why it was unfortunate that that vote in Switzerland didn't go through. But the fact that they're talking about that is a good thing. So that's the picture in the UK. So it's let me segue into the why we need to keep the fight going, not only in the UK, but in the US. The US is in the same boat. I know President Trump has done very good things, especially today. Hopefully there will be peace in Asia. But I'm sorry to say he's not being truthful about the economy. But I suspect he's using, the past strategy of the past presidents to keep himself going, to do the things that he thinks may be important. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that, but don't play his game. Don't think that the economy is doing great, like he says. Protect yourself. Don't buy into it. So what about the dollar? The euro is up about 15 pips, about 118, so fairly steady. And the dollar is up 0.25% against the yen, 110.28. So yeah, the battle for sound money. I remember about 2007, I started a blog called forsoundmoney.com. I used to write on that blog. I didn't follow through on it. And then I decided to do the videos, and I think it's a much better way to get my message across on YouTube. But it's something that is dear to me not because I'm a gold bug or it's a religion or anything, but because it's right. And the right thing is never going to be wrong, and the wrong thing is never going to be right. Even if it hasn't been exposed yet. And that's why we need to keep fighting against the central banking system. We need to keep telling people how the system works, how, commercial banks that are part of the central banking scheme, how they actually create money out of thin air, and that they don't take people's deposits and lend it to Mr. X. No, they just write it on a ledger. Can you imagine if you could do that yourself? Just create something out of thin air, and people would think it's crazy, and that's why we have to expose this system. That's why gold and silver are the only monetary assets that will protect you from the implosion of this system. I know that it's been going on, well, since 1971, and one could argue that it's been going on also since 1914, when the Federal Reserve started operating. I know there were central banks in Europe before that, but to make central banking really a power in this world, they needed the Americans to join the club. As you know, Andrew Jackson did not renew the charter of the Second Bank of the United States in 1837. So for almost, for 80 years almost, the U.S. Operated without a central bank, didn't need one. Money is just another commodity in a free market, and by custom, it's been gold and silver. It's highly decentralized. I mean, the name itself, central bank, already tells you everything. That it's controlled by a few men or women, whoever they are. Like tomorrow at the FOMC, 12 people decide what the monetary policy for the U.S. should be. Not only for the U.S., for the whole world. We've seen how it's the world being dependent on the U.S. dollar, how it's hurt the world, how it's created trade imbalances because the money isn't real. It's not based on reality. So we get these huge trade imbalances, not only in the UK we saw yesterday, but in the US. And we get the flip side of the coin in countries where they have a huge surplus. So that's why it's important that we go back to sound money. Yes, it's frustrating, but the way to do it is to be aware of it and not play their game. That's the only way we're going to do it. It's not going to be done by trying to write to your congressman or congresswoman or senator or MP. They don't want to, stop this game. They benefit from the game of creating money out of thin air because they give the bankers the power to do that, and the bankers scratch their backs in return. So we need to basically do it ourselves. I know it's hard, but it can be done. You need to double your efforts. Make it try to get out even more out of the system. Try to save even more instead of spending. Of course, you got to live your life and enjoy your life. But that's what I wanted to talk about. Billy's back today. I had to wake him up. He's had his breakfast already, and he's gone outside. Now he's back in the house. He's going for his haircut on Thursday. He's getting a bit long now. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share it. Yeah, sharing is really important. We need to get this message out there. Sometimes I feel, I've said this many times before, but new subscribers keep coming, so that's encouraging. People are hopefully becoming more aware of how rotten our monetary system is. And you can also follow me on DTube, on Twitter, and on Steemit. And I'll talk to you later, and have a great day. Take care. Bye.